So, coming to you live on the day of the income driven waiver deadline. Today is April 30th. I want to make a really quick video to talk about what is income driven waiver, because we keep on hearing about this deadline throughout the news. For those who have student loans, I know it pops up on my Google almost every day, in terms of student loan news, that is. I want to talk a little bit about what is the income driven waiver. If you don't need to be applying for the income-driven waiver, what are potential programs to be aware of and what's going on with the student loan world, right? So I want to answer that. What is income-driven waiver? Does it apply to you? Well, if you're already on an income-driven plan, lucky for you, it does not apply to you unless you have what's called family educational loans and want to get back payments that time in which you were not paying counted towards repayment, then consolidation deadline is today. If you're already on an income-driven waiver, already in a program like Save, for example, then you don't need to worry. You've already met the deadline. So almost 1 million people have qualified for all sorts of forgiveness through accessing the income-driven waiver program. They're basically rules that stipulate that payments that you've already made or have not made up to 3 years worth count towards your repayment period. So if you're a public servant and have to pay 10 years, it counts towards that timeline. Or if you're not a public servant and you have 20 to 25 years to pay, for example, then they will accelerate the payment count so that you have fewer payments left, okay? So I would check in with your servicer. See how many counted payments do you already have? That applies to every single person watching this video. You should know how many more payments you have to make, right? Because it's like any loan. Like, if I know I took out a 30-year mortgage, I want to know, when do I have to stop paying, right? In the mortgage world, if I pay $200 extra in principal payment, how many years will I save? I would want to know that, right? Because otherwise, what would motivate me to make that extra payment? Unlike the mortgage example I just used, in the student loan world, we can get our pathway to the student loans ending, basically coming to an end date based on how many payments we get counted towards repayment. Which means if let's say I paid for 8 years, we've been in pandemic pause for 3, I have now counted 11 years of payments, even though I technically only made 8 years of payments, right? If I'm a public servant enrolling all my public service loan paperwork, then I should technically be done paying. However, it requires that people enroll their paperwork so that they can be done paying. That is what we here at LoanSense help people do. So of course, if you know what paperwork you did not pay, you did not submit, you have a clear understanding of what needs to be filed, you can even go ahead and do it yourself at studentaid.gov. You can file the various public service loan forgiveness forms. If you are puzzled by the payment amount, or you do not know what paperwork you need to be filing, that is where we can assist, okay? So again, income-driven waiver is literally just counting time that you did not pay, like the 3-year pandemic pause, making sure your servicer counts that, okay? That is what income-driven repayment waiver is. So if you are not enrolled in income-driven repayment already, including the SAVE program, pay-as-you-earn is going away, by the way, as soon as July. I just wanted to present that little bit of news as well. Then you should go ahead and abide by 2 days deadline and enroll the paperwork now. For some individuals, that may involve consolidation. If you need help, I'm actually going to go ahead and list our company's phone number. Since today is the deadline, you should go ahead and call us so we can get your items submitted as soon as possible if you need help. I don't have my company phone number memorized. Oh my gosh. It's not my cell phone number. I do not have it memorized. Apologies. It's at the bottom of our website, though. It is a 734 number, 203-7640, okay? Now let's talk about some other news. What are programs that exist that Biden additionally funded? So if this applies to you, that's awesome. If it doesn't, you can always disperse and provide this information to others. So we've been getting a lot of calls on borrower defense. If you went to schools that were part of the Sweeten Cardona lawsuit, yeah, there's a whole list of schools. I will link the doc below that can accelerate the decision to get your loans discharged. There's a whole list of schools. If your school is not on that list, you could still qualify to get your loans discharged. It just the Department of Ed just has 3 years to tell you a decision instead of 1 year. So I wanted to name that point. There's also disability discharge for cancer patients or certain individuals who claim and file into disability. There's also teacher loan forgiveness. There's also time that you serve in Peace Corps, AmeriCorps, the military. All that counts towards forgiveness as well, to make sure you get that credited towards loan forgiveness. If you have any questions, please comment, like. One final piece of consolidation news. Parents can still do a second iteration of consolidation until 2025 to qualify for SAVE instead of income contingency repayment. Okay, that's another piece of news. Let me know the types of questions you have. Happy to go over scenarios for married borrowers, or continue to come with relevant updates. I'm seeing the number of borrowers enrolling their paperwork through our systems, and we're seeing more and more borrowers get $0 payments. So that is awesome. Those $0 payments actually count as payments. I want to make sure you are aware of that. However, they may not count as zero towards your mortgage. So we can help find some workarounds on that as well. So let us know. Leave comments, questions, like, subscribe. And again, if you understand what you need to file, studentaid.gov. If not, you can chat us, call us, 734-203-7640. Have a great day.